closed. This is the most professional stream on the internet where we call the police on stream for alarm cars. Anyway, here we go into game number 3 of the round of 8 on the ASC Weekly Bronze and Silver Division number 7. Holy lordy, that's a mouthful. We have Zerotalent, the winner of the last game on Traverse Plateau, spawning at the, I'll call it the 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock position, 7:30, 5 o'clock position. Zerotalent, the Blue Terran, and his opponent at the 6 o'clock position here on Metalopolis. Close air positions, we have Mr. Etherwar, the Red Protoss. Wow, now I have nothing else to go on. I got that intro down packed, and then what to do afterwards is a mystery to me. Guys, go click on the Facebook button, like us, follow us. You can get updates there, and we tell you what we're doing and stuff. It's great, and we have a lot of stuff coming up. A lot of stuff to follow on the ASC Weekly, as well as the general StarCraft 2 community, I guess you could call it. Zeltum, close air positions. What are you thinking?
Mothership rush!
Oh, that would be so epic. I'd be like, he hucked him. I would totally say he hucked him. Huck also. Has anyone seen the GSL? Huck, honest to God, and I hope I get to a point in StarCraft 2 where I can be where I'm actually like meeting people like Huck and stuff, and then I'll actually be embarrassed about this. But holy shit, dude, the Bieber haircut has got to go. Like he's representing Canada. There are people that will actually think, and this is sad to say, but there's people that will actually think that all Canadians have Bieber haircuts because of Huck, and that's unfortunate. That is like thoroughly unfortunate. So if you just get like a faux hawk or something, I don't know, just anything but a Bieber cut, or he has the Korean haircut. That's a very Korean haircut as well, from what I'm seeing in the GSL. So maybe he's just going for that, but he looks so much like Bieber.
One of those people that will make that assumption is simpatico.
Well, no, I'm Canadian. Why would I think that? I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, oh, okay, not all Canadians have the Bieber cut.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, based on what I've seen in the GSL, Koreans have this haircut.
Well, I corrected myself. I said from what I've seen in the GSL, and they all have the exact same haircut. There's like, okay, there's a difference. Seeing like 32 Korean GSL players with the same haircut is different than seeing one player.
They don't all have the same haircut, though. Are you like?
Yeah, oh God. Yeah, no, dude, they totally do. They all have the exact same haircut.
No, they don't.
Yeah, no, they totally do. There's like that guy with the red hair is the only one, and like July Zerg I think doesn't have it because he's older. But like yeah, everyone else has the exact same haircut. Like with that swoosh to the side, you know, that like swoosh. It's like it's not quite emo because it's not in their eyes, but it's not quite pizzazz either. It's sort of like a mullet where it's business in the front and party in the back. You know, it's I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. Maybe I'm getting old and I just like people with short hair.
You're so wrong.
We're not seeing any airplay here, as we do see 2 racks and Marauders coming out for Mr. Zerotalent. Likewise, we see a couple of gateways and a core down for actually, this is going to be a 2-gate robo, it looks like, which is cool. I can dig that. Maybe do a 2 mortal timing push. How is actually you love that build, especially in PvT, right, Zeltsum? How's his timing for that?
Well, let's see. It looks like he could potentially. I think his stuff is definitely could be smoothed out. It's a little bit rough. Normally, you can get a couple of mortals and zealot sentry to their base at about 7 to 7.5 minutes if you adjust right. And that's like the really fast one. And he's doing a 3-gate instead of a 2-gate. Okay. I definitely prefer the 2-gate because I like to get 2 immortals out and then expand behind it. But it is a push that's specifically, as you've witnessed personally, specifically designed to crush the 2-gate expand.
Yeah, painfully, and personally as well. I didn't take it personally, but it was painful.
2 racks expand, rather.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But yeah, we do have a 4-gate robo for Etherwar, a little bit unstandard. And honestly, Zerotalent could do a ton of damage with this small Marine Marauder force right now. Although with that sentry out, he could wall off that ramp, so it probably wouldn't do too much. If Etherwar had the control I think he only has one force field. How much does force
Etherwar only
field
needs one
cost?
force field. That Immortal is about
Oh,
out. He kind of did it a little bit too fast, a little bit too readily. You don't want to use force fields unnecessarily, but there is an Immortal out now, and that's going to pretty much shut down any Marauder aggression that's coming out of Zerotalent. And oh, it looks like Etherward's going to do a push of his own. I prefer to wait for those that second Immortal because that's about the time that you see that expansion go down, and then he's relying on bunkers to stay alive for a period of time. If you get that second Immortal out, you can destroy bunkers so fast.
um, it looks like Zerotalent's just going for a really big 3 racks here, trying to produce as many units as possible, getting his 4th racks up now. So very very bio heavy play here. I don't think this push from Etherwar is going to do anything, and I guess he felt that. Going to walk back now. And this expansion gonna put Zerotalent ahead economically. He has a lot more probes, or SCVs rather. So Zerotalent looking quite good this game. And it's basically Etherwar has to do something to try and catch up at this point. He is dropping his expansion now, so that is a good start. Needs to produce a few more. Both players need to keep producing probes. Zerotalent seems to be. I don't think he was for a while there, though. So needs to keep that up. Always producing probes.
Responding with an expansion of his own. However, it is a much later expansion. It's definitely the ball is definitely in Etherwar's court right now. He needs to push in and do some kind of damage, even if it's just a matter of pushing in and sort of just poking into Zerotalent and then pulling back without taking any damage. He needs to do some kind of something because Zerotalent is simply ahead right now. By quite a significant margin, partially because, well, mostly because of this much faster expansion. And Etherwar is opting not to get a second Immortal out, instead getting that Observer since he didn't get it initially. And he is doing a very Sentry Stalker heavy composition, which I can't say I agree with, especially with this number of Marauders, and also because if he's trying to go for some kind of tech off of one base, it's very difficult to be able to afford all those Stalkers, plus those expensive tech units. Usually it's better to just do some kind of Zealot Sentry tech thing, unless you have a very specific reason to get Stalkers.
Unfortunately, Zerotalent has some idle SCVs. I don't think he'd rallied his command center, and now he's rallying them both to his main. Probably an unfortunate misclick there. Maybe the nerves are getting to him a little bit. Of course, this is the elimination match right now in the round of 8, so whoever wins this game is going to move on to the semifinals. So it could be tournament jitters that would not be unheard of. It's quite common, in fact. Getting that starport out now, as going to switch it over with this reactor, I'm sure, going to pump out either Vikings or Medivacs. He probably wants to drop a scan to see if what's going to be coming out from Etherwar, and if he did scan, he would see this Robo Bay going down, so he's going to know it's going to be Colossus, which will prompt him to make those Vikings, unless he's just going to do it blindly. I don't know. I don't think he's seen... Yeah, he doesn't know what's up here. So... Really, I mean, he is ahead at this point quite significantly, and he kind of has a window right now. If he pushed right now, actually no, with this amount of sentries and that Immortal, wouldn't do too much. So he's gotta do something here. Wow,
Yep.
might use this factory to scout, which is kind of cool. You don't see that too often, or it's just a misclick and it's gonna be floating out
Definitely,
here.
he's going for a very Marauder-heavy composition, getting Vikings out quite quickly. Surprised that he doesn't have a gas or two up at his natural yet. It is kind of nice to see people sort of experimenting with, not getting gas in their expansions right away, because a lot of times people just get expansions down and then immediately get their gases because, oh, I'm expanding, I should get my gas.
Yeah.
But if you know you're not going to be using that, like if you're doing a very mineral-heavy thing, like he's right now all Marine Marauder, and just only using gas on Vikings, you don't need too much, but there go down both gases, and I think he probably could have been better served to get one gas at a time and slowly build up, because he is only getting Vikings with those gas. Well, there are a couple medevacs coming out, and those do take some gas. But he looks pretty safe, and I think he could actually probably go for a third. I would very much advise either player to go for a third right now. Protoss is very difficult to take a third until you start getting those Colossus numbers out. Etherwar's Colossus is stuck
Oh,
It's stuck! Oh
no.
my god, look at that! It's
Oh,
stuck! Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad.
we actually saw this earlier with another player having a bunch of probes get stuck in in his
This
kind
is
of
what
his Sim
happens when you
City
don't
there.
think about your building placement.
Yeah, building placement is obviously quite important. And now this bio army is unupgraded right now. He needs to do something. Thermal Lance is on the way. We have two forges down, or we did have a second forge coming down. I was gonna say because it's kind of weird that he has a second forge, but hasn't got an upgrade on his first yet. So that's probably just a misclick. Definitely wants to. Well, he doesn't have really the gas to support upgrades right now. Only one guy on his second gas, and we does look like. Zerotalent's going to want to put on some aggression now, going to see if maybe he can get a couple of free Colossus shots, but instead he's going to see a wall of stalkers and have to pull back.
Yeah, this is. I mean, that's why it's nice to have these stalkers, but it's really delaying his upgrades. As you said, he's really gas starved right now, and he's only going to be attacking with a little bit at once. Nice Guardian Shield there. I think it's an accident to take all those probes. He needs to not engage in this choke. He needs to push his units out, and he really is not going to hold this very well. Some decent force fields, but ultimately just giving Zerotalent an even bigger arc. And, oh, there is nothing that Etherwar can do to defend against this giant glob of Marine Marauder versus this tiny number of Stalkers. That's all that's left from Etherwar.
Yeah, this is basically just a macro win. I don't just a macro win, like it's not a big deal, but he's honestly not happy. Goddamn Terran, I hate you. That's not a Terran OP thing. That's just that was macro superiority out of Zerotalent. He produced more stuff. He had a lot of unit producing structures. Those 3 racks into many more racks. It was it's just a lot of production going on, and it was not matched. So anyway, thank you very much for playing Etherwar. Congratulations on making it to the round of 8, and we hope to see you next week. I hope you had fun. Zerotalent, congratulations on making it into the semifinals, of which we're going to be going into hopefully soon. And if you're a VOD viewer, chances are you're going to miss out on all the fun that we're about to have if we do have a delay. And we're going to probably play some Star Jeweled, maybe do some interviews, which we might get to see actually. So it's but either way, you want to check out ASCWeekly.com because you can watch the live stream at 9 o'clock on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Bronze and Silver on Tuesday, Gold and Platinum on Wednesday, and Diamond on Thursday. A ton of stuff is coming up from the ASC Weekly, so definitely want to check out ASCWeekly.com. Click on the Facebook button, the Twitter button, all of that stuff. Thank you very much for watching. Click on the next VOD as we're going to the semifinals, and we'll see you there.